Alrighty, good morning, Jones Middle School. On a normal year in a normal semester, I would be in your class for, I think it's like 5 visits, working with Mr. Humphreys. So as it is for now, you're gonna have a series of, I think it's gonna turn into 9 videos. Most of them will be a lot shorter than this one. This one's gonna be the longest one to start you out with, but I wanna talk about a reason to stay in school. It's not the reason that your parents are probably giving you, and it may not even be the same reason that your teachers give you. The reason I want to talk you into staying in school affects this. Education pays. I have 2019 stats, and it talks about, and you've got a copy that was sent to you too, talks about the unemployment rate and the average weekly earnings for various education levels. And I'm not gonna stand here and read them to you, but it goes from a low of a high school dropout all the way up to a doctoral degree. And as you look at the unemployment rate, the average is 3% for 2019. You drop out of high school, the unemployment rate's 5.4%. That means 54 out of 1,000 don't have jobs that wanna work. But when you go all the way up the ladder to the top, 1.1%. Means there out of 1,000 doctorates, there's only 11 that don't have a job. On the green side, the average salary for all workers in 2019 is $969 a week. But if you follow that lineup, you don't pass that average salary until you get a bachelor's degree in college. So you're gonna come up short on your salary until you do a 4-year college degree. College is not for everybody, and I get that, but there's ways to get education past high school. You have trade schools. You've got vocational schools. I've got 2 kids. I knew from an early age, my oldest child, he was college. He was going to go to college. He was going to do well. My youngest one, I knew he would do well, but not in college. He got up to the point where he enrolled, and the week before he was to leave to go to college, he says, you know, I really can't do this. And I said, I know. I'm just waiting for you to figure that out. So he started working. He's a hard worker. He finally decided that he wanted to become a police officer. He went to the police academy, and now he's been a police officer for several years, and he doesn't have too many more years to go before he gets to retire. And he'll still be fairly young. So education does pay, but it doesn't have to be college. There is a shortage of electricians. There's a shortage of plumbers. There's a shortage of carpenters. You learn a trade, you'll make a good living down the road. All right, let's take this average salary, or these salaries for the different education levels. You also have a sheet of paper that has some situations on there. I'm not going to read each thing to you, but it says at the top I want to point out, all situations, you're 25 years old. You're married with 1 child, your spouse does not work. Situation number 1 is you did not graduate from high school. So we took that average weekly pay, we took out your federal and state withholdings, and that gives you a net pay. Situation number 2, you graduated from high school. We did the same thing, come up with a net pay. Situation number 3, 4-year college degree, we went through the whole process. That what's in bold, that net weekly pay, is what you actually put in your pocket each week. Let's see which one you can pay your bills with. All right, so these are taken down. Most generally, you're paying your house payment by the month. We've broke everything down to where it's by the week, so we can factor it in and compare it with your weekly salary. So for housing, we're doing a standard 2-bedroom house. It has your appliances. It includes your property tax. You have a 30-year loan to pay for it, a 30-year mortgage. That means it's going to take you 30 years to pay for this house. The average weekly cost for that is $136.11. The next major expense besides housing is transportation. Because your spouse doesn't work, we're gonna just figure you have one vehicle. We're gonna factor a used 4-door sedan, and I just arbitrarily picked a Toyota Camry, a 2017. So the price I'm writing down is your cost of your vehicle with maintenance and gas factored in. And this again, it's a weekly cost that we broke it down to. It's $118.15. $118.15. Now, because you have a house, because you have a car, you need to protect those. It's called insurance. Talk to your mom or dad about it. That you have to, by law, you have to insure your car. But common sense tells you to insure your house. You have to protect it from fire, people breaking in, from storms. You just need to protect your property. So when shopping around, an average price a week that broke down to a week for your insurance, $34.67. All right, utilities. Let's talk about that for a minute. You've got this house, but you want water, you want heat, you want air conditioning. So when we talk utilities, that general term includes all that. It's gas if you have gas heat. It's electric to run the lights. You may have electric water heater or gas water heater. It does not take into account, Wi-Fi, internet, that kind of stuff. But one thing that's factored into utilities that's not cheap, that most people don't realize, is the water that you have running down the drain. You may get hollered at that you're taking too long of a shower. One reason is hot water, but the other reason is the water that we're paying for to come into our house, we also have to pay for it to leave. Ask your mom or dad about bills from a company called SD1. It's Sanitary District Number 1. And you have to pay for all the water that leaves your house, goes down the drain. So that's not cheap. That's actually more than my water bill is with our family situation. But you factor all those in together on this size house, and the size of house does matter, but you're gonna factor in $46.15 on average for a week. Grocery and grooming, grocery and health and grooming, and those are included because you can do one-stop shops, so to speak. You can go to Walmart, go to the grocery, get your health and beauty aids. You can go to Kroger and get all that now. We factored in low cost. So if you do shop at Kroger, if you go to the grocery at Kroger, you're not buying name brands, you're buying all Kroger brand stuff. If you go to Walmart, I don't even, Home, I can't remember what their generic brand is, but that's what you're buying. Family of 3. Remember, you're married, you have to feed your spouse, you have to feed your child, you have to take care of them. $149.30 a week on average. This has gone up a lot, especially in the last year, not just because of COVID, but it started going up before COVID. I noticed that at the grocery, the prices were going up. All right, you have this good house, you need something to sit on. You need beds to sleep in, you need tables to eat on. Again, we went low cost. We factored in your laundry equipment, so you don't have to run to the laundromat. You bought it on time, which means you got a loan to pay for it. $28.92. That's what you're going to be paying a week to pay for your furniture. All right, next thing up, medical and dental. These are not actual expenses. This is also an insurance. Your medical is an average medical policy. You have a $1,250 deductible, which means you have to pay that much out of your pocket before the insurance kicks in, and then it'll pay 80% of it. On your dental, it'll pay up to $1,000 per family member, and the rest of it's yours. So when you factor those costs in on a week, $76.38. Now, because we don't want anybody running around in their birthday suits, that might get you in trouble. We need to clothe you. You need to clothe your spouse, you need to clothe your child. Thing about children is they grow so fast, you might buy them clothes today and 2 or 3 months from now you got to be buying more because they've outgrown them. But we went to Walmart and priced it out. So you're not getting your name brand, shop at the mall type clothing. You're going and getting a low cost brand of clothes. And I did this to keep it easy on you. Average weekly amount spent on clothes is $26.54. You're not going to spend that every week. There may be weeks you don't spend anything, but there's going to be weeks you spend $200 or $300 on clothes. So over the year, that's what it averages to. Communications is next. This includes 2 cell phones, internet, and either cable or dish, so you can watch TV. Again, this is a weekly, so factor, when I write this number down, multiply it by 4. $58.85. That is everything on your cells, unlimited text, unlimited minutes, unlimited data, and then Wi-Fi at the house, and you've got TV to watch. Last thing, entertainment. I know it's going to be more than this, but we factored in just eating out one time. And we're not talking fast food, we're not talking McDonald's, but we're not talking about a really fancy place either. This is for an O'Charlie's type place, Olive Garden type place. Remember, you've got 3 people in your family, and it's gonna average you about this when you leave your tip, about $50. You add all that up, $725.07 is what your weekly expenses are according to this. Now go back and look at your situations. If you don't graduate from high school, your net pay is $506.26. It's going to leave you a little shy. If you graduate from high school but don't do anything beyond high school for more education, it's $634.28. You're still just under $100 shy. All right. Situation number 3, for your college degree, you can pay bills. The bad part about this number, it does not include emergencies. Okay? It does not include if your spouse wants to go get a job to help with expenses, you're going to have another vehicle. You're going to have to pay child care because your child can't stay at home by themselves. It does not include school expenses for when your child starts school. It doesn't include, you go out here and it does a little bit. The maintenance on the car was just your average oil change and stuff. You're going to have to put tires on that thing somewhere down the road. That might be close to $800-900 depending upon the tires you get. So it doesn't include emergencies. It's tough out there. The longer you can stay in school, be it trade school after high school or college, the better off you're setting up your future. That's what I want to try to hammer home to you. I want to get you to understand that. Anyway, thank you for your time. Next video, we're going to start talking about how to get out and look for a job and the type of information you need, and go through some skills that you're going to have to do, some do's and don'ts about job hunting. Thank you very much.